Hello, it's Central Strong, aka Keto Central. I'm back with another YouTube video. This is my second one that I've done in this channel. And once again, I'm trying to make this a weekly thing. It may not be every week, but I'm going to do my best to be as consistent as possible. In this episode, this is something that I really want to hopefully stress to the highest limit. I would, if I were you, no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter how serious it is that you're doing what you're doing, I would compete with myself more so over competing with other people. The biggest competition is you, and it should only be you. It's one thing when you're playing a sport and you're doing things that obviously other participants are around and you don't have much of a choice but to compete with people, and that's something that's supposed to be fun, that's something that's supposed to be less serious, that's something that's supposed to be not only competing with other people, but you're on a team more than likely, and there's a whole bunch of people competing with a whole bunch of other people. That's a different scenario. If it's a sport or something, it's obvious you're going to compete with other people. But I'm talking about in life, your biggest competition is yourself, and it should only be yourself. When you're competing with other people when you don't have to, if you really think about it, you're doing nothing but stressing yourself out, and you're making things more complicated at the end of the day for you. Especially when you're competing with someone at 8, they're not even paying you any mind. Just imagine how stressful it is to try to do better than someone else when you don't have to, and they don't even care about it. They're not even noticing it. They're not even paying any mind to it because they're worried about what they have to do to better themselves, and that's all they're mainly focused on. They're not focused on what this person has probably, or what that person doesn't have, or things of that scenario. And if they are focused on it, they're not showing it with their actions or with their words. They're not showing any discomfort by it. So if you're someone out there that is competing with people nonstop when you don't have to, or you're someone out there that's constantly making comparisons and trying to draw a comparison to this situation or that person, I highly recommend that you stop before you really wish you could have stopped. I understand we make comparisons to make points, to make things more clear for people to understand, but it's how you do it. I don't think you would like it with someone, if someone walks up to you and say, hey, and it's true, hey, I got bigger muscles than you. Look at what I'm doing. You look so tiny, you look so small. Hey, I got a better car than you. I'm driving a Ferrari, you're driving a Toyota. Hey, I got more money than you. Here's my bank account. You would look at that like, what are you thinking about in your mind? What is wrong with you for you to come out your way to make a comparison to me and try to put me down when I did nothing to you, or when there was really no reason or objective to start with to do something like that. And if you don't want someone to do that to you, I wouldn't really think it's okay for you to do that to someone else. That's what I'm really referring to as far as comparisons. Now, these are okay comparisons. This is an example. I just gave an example on a comparison that's negative. This is more of a positive comparison. Hey, if you do this, let's just say you're working a job and there's a faster and better way to do something efficiently. Hey, if you do this way, you'll get this done faster than the way you were originally doing this task. I can show you, if you like me to, how to do this quicker so it'll be better off for you. That is a healthy comparison. That comparison is not putting someone down, but comparing something that someone's particularly doing, not really comparing a person, but comparing something someone's doing to a better and more efficient way of doing something. Those type of comparisons are good comparisons, and I'm not talking about those type of comparisons. So I'm talking about negative comparisons. That's the biggest objective in this video. And I'm not telling you to always give people unsolicited advice and make comparisons with every and any little thing and always try to be overly helpful, because sometimes that can be toxic too. What I'm trying to say is, if you're someone out there that is making comparisons, or you're competing with someone that you don't need to compete with, I think the only way you really will improve, because typically when you compete with someone, you want improvement and you think that someone is posing a threat. That's normally why people compete with other people, especially when they don't need to. I really think what you need to do to improve is to really just compete with yourself, and not only compete with yourself, come in a mindset that in this life there is no time frame to get something done that is a dream. Well, it's in a sense it's a time frame because we're not all going to be on this planet forever, but it's not a time frame to get something done before someone else. That's what I meant to say. If someone got something before you, you don't know what they really went through to get that. So what good is it going to do to draw a comparison to that person when you don't need to, because they got something before you, which really it does nothing but hurt you. Now, if you went to that person and say, hey, how did you get this done so quickly? How did you get this fast? You're in your 20s, you got all this money, you got all these subscribers on YouTube. How can I get to this level? That's different. That's more of humility. And humility will get you a lot further in competition and jealousy, envy, and all those negative emotions. And that's different. So I really believe that if you compete with yourself, you'll get better. If you compete with others, you'll get bitter. And there's a difference between competing with someone and comparing yourself to someone and asking for advice and comparing an action that someone's performing to another action. And I would just say that if you're someone who likes competition, that's okay. But there's some people out there that just want to live their lives and they don't want to wake up every day thinking that you're going to compete with them with whatever they're doing, because it gets annoying and it might even come off as bullying. So if you're someone that likes competition, compete with yourself. If you're someone that likes competition with other people, go and find something that is meant to be competitive amongst a group of people and compete that way. You shouldn't go out your way and make comparisons and competitions with people that are doing nothing but living their everyday lives and just want to improve on their own. You shouldn't do that. It's unhealthy. If anything, you're just going to upset people. It's going to get annoying. You're going to make enemies. It is unnecessary. So that's my biggest take on this video. I hope you gained something out of it. And I want to also say that, once again, when you compete with yourself, you get better. When you compete with other people, especially and mainly when you don't need to, you get bitter. And I think we all want to get better instead of bitter. So, yeah, thank you for listening. I hope this video is uplifting. Keep being strong, keep being you, ignore the haters. And yeah, my YouTube channel is Central the Winner. My Facebook is Central Strong. I post on Facebook significantly more than YouTube. So if you want to check out my content on there, you can. But I pray that somebody gets something positive out of this. And thank you for listening.